Oh, yeah, this was good. I went on a date with a chick and ended up hooking up that night, but left during sex because her dog wouldn't stop staring at us from behind the door guard the whole time. One of the worst experiences in my life. Can you imagine? The dog was like, no, don't fuck nobody else. I've seen enough. I can't talk. Look at me. Dogs know. I went to a dive bar to fuck. First sentence. We know what they came in to do. They gave us every answer we were looking for. I went to a dive bar to fuck. How'd you go to the dive bar? To fuck. Where'd you go to the dive bar? We know. Everything was answered. I had the guy and his brother over. The next day, I had to work, so I kicked them out. My friends told me he was a homeless man. I had no idea, but it made sense because he always carried a blanket. This was in Arizona. Best sex ever. Come on now, who knew the homeless was giving out good sex? Come on. I hooked up with a girl the night of Halloween. The next morning, I had to walk across town dressed as Harry Potter. Dating sites. A guy messaged me, not hello, not hi. His first message was, do you like big black cock? I guess he was just trying to get to the point. He didn't want to waste no one's time.
So you guys were all like so professional, and I'm like, I've never done anything like this before. So.
No worries. So give her another round of applause just for coming up, guys. Show her love.
I had some funny dates. So this was one that I had just started online dating. I think this was my first or second date. Met this guy on Match. This was our third date, and we had two just like meets before that. And he had hinted around that he thought it'd be fun if we went ahead and went to the Hilton for the New Year's Eve ball. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like fun. And then as we were talking, you know, he just didn't really commit. And I was like, oh, he doesn't want to pay because, you know, it's expensive. And he just met me, and, you know, so I was like, cool, it's fine. I'll take care of myself. So we set it up that we were going to go. And since I didn't know this guy, I decided that it would be better to take an Uber as opposed to, like, driving with someone that I don't know if he's going to, like, drink and be unsafe to get home, that kind of thing. So he came over to my house, picked me up, went to his house, and this was the first flag I should have realized. He's 46, and he offers me some champagne before we leave. And the only glasses in his cupboard were plastic. I was like, okay. So we leave, we go to the ball, and having a good time, dancing, great time. And then as the night progressed, the more drunk he got, the more he started putting his arms around men and kissing them and telling them how great they looked. And, you know, I don't have any problem if you're gay, you know, what if you like men, women, you know, but when you're with me, you're kissing me only. That's my only rule. Like,
that's right.
That's where I draw the line. So it was getting later, and I said, you know, I'm kind of done with this. You know, he's obviously enjoying men's company more than mine, so I'm ready to go. And so I said, okay, I'm ready to go. He's like, well, I'm not ready to go. I'm like, yeah, it's fine, cool. I'm good. I'm going to take an Uber. I'll go home. And he's like, no, that's fine. And he said, I don't have the app on my phone. And I was like, well, that's okay. You know, here, let me help you get the app. Well, we were both too drunk to put the app on his phone. So I was like, oh, just forget it. You know, we'll take the Uber. I'm going to go home first, and then you can just, you know, take the Uber to your house, and you can pay me later. And so I pushed the button, so I'm like, I'm going home. And it was, I think it was like $100. And I was like, okay, well, it's going to be $100. And he's like, what? What the fuck? And I was like, yeah, it's New Year's Eve, you know? He's like, oh, man, I'm going to call my mom.
What?
46 years old. So needless to say, I get in the car and I leave. And he texts me as I'm driving home, like, where'd you go? And I was like, I told you I was going home. And And the funny thing is the Uber driver dropped me off, and he ended up asking me out, and we went out for about a month.
That's right. During my exploration phase, I decided to try online dating and found a woman who liked yoga, and I figured, great, flexible. Quotations. I dressed up real nice and picked some dark hipster bar to meet. We talked for a while. There was chemistry. She liked the idea of my ropes and wild side. Just before we left, I paid our tab, and while walking to the car, she pulled her boyfriend from the dark, expecting a threesome. Needless to say, I walked home alone. The homeless, they are outside all night, never walk home. My ex-boyfriend could not keep his penis up. Straight to the point, okay? We got it. What could he not do? Keep his penis up? Who? Her ex. What's his name? So we also can know. The pills didn't work either.
Oh no.
She tried. I should have cheated. 2 years for nothing. It was my birthday weekend. I met a guy online and he actually showed up. Well, we know what happened. Okay, let's continue. He followed us to another bar where my friend surprised me. We went up to grab a drink, ended up chatting, looked over. He was getting a lap dance and kissing a hoe. This was not a strip club. My partner dislocated my jaw during sex. I popped it back in and we kept going. That is a queen. Shout out to her. Nothing can stop that woman. She said, what I gotta do? Hold on, it gets better. Years later, I dislocated his jaw during sex. My first thought was not sympathy, but sweet revenge. That is a true queen. I love it. I love it.
So I'm here with my girlfriend tonight. This story is not about her.
Just so you know, okay?
Yeah. I've been on a few dates with a girl, and I think it was our fourth date, and we were at a bar, Marie's in St. John's, if y'all know Marie's, awesome bar, and so anyway, we had a couple of drinks or whatever. I come back with a third round of drinks, you know, carrying drinks for both of us, and she looks at it and she goes, "Oh, you trying to get me drunk so I can't drive home, huh?" And I was, I took that as a hint that she was maybe, you know, it was our fourth date and we hadn't had sex yet, but I figured that was kind of a hint. She's kind of shy, you know, but I was like, oh, that might be a hint. Anyway, 10 minutes later, that song, it might have been wishful thinking. It was definitely wishful thinking. But I didn't act on it or anything. 10 minutes later, the song, you know that song, Should I Stay or Should I Go Now? She would ask it. She like nudges me. She's like, should we stay or should we go? And I just go, so that's hint number 2, right? In my deluded brain. And so I just go, all right, so here's the deal. I'm unemployed and I live in a shack in my friend's backyard. And the shack's not finished. It's got like insulation like falling out of the ceiling. And if it was clean, it wouldn't be that bad, but I'm a fucking slob. There's just clothes everywhere. It's not dirty, but it is messy. That's what my friends tell me. They go, no, you're not dirty, you're messy, Sean. That's what your problem is. You're just disorganized. Anyway, so I tell them, listen, like, okay, like, we could go, but that's what you're dealing with if you want to go home to my place. However, my Pontiac Vibe has a back seat that folds down completely. And I keep an air mattress in there because I'm kind of homeless, basically. Fucking homeless, man. And this girl's shy, right? She turns beet red, puts her head down and she looks like she doesn't know if she should laugh or cry, so she's doing both at the same time. And that was the moment I realized maybe I misinterpreted what she was saying. And she's just like, I meant like, should I stay or should I go now? Like, should we go to like another bar down the street? And I was like, oh. And she's like, I need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, no.
And she gets up and goes to the bathroom, and she comes back a little bit later, and she's walking up before she can even sit down at the table. I walk up to her and I give her a hug, and I was like, listen, I am so sorry. There's a crack motel down the block. I should have thought of that as an option. I should have thrown that out, because when it's that bad, just lean into how horrible it is, you know. And so she left, and then we fucked at her place.
What an ending, Sean. Okay.
And when I said the girl that I'm with tonight is not the girl in the story, I lied. It's her. We're still dating 2 months later.